All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fielded about a yard deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. Now, this is going to put him back with a not great field position. So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
And they'll run it here. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they try the right side here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to have a third down. From the gun, Gonzalez. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have to.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Wilson. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Let's get it, baby. Let's go.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Penny, a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Come on, let's go.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Third and 2, now Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. And his kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Fielded about a yard deep. Gets around him. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now the carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hot. Hot.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Gonzalez. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun.
Looking to throw. Gonzalez. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. but that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep. Because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on third down, Wilson leaves it for Petty. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now a handoff looking right. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Watching that, Marty, Marty.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to lose. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Detroit!
Gonzalez to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Gonzalez now. From the gun, he'll throw. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now it's Wilson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. The great move couldn't free him. Taken down at the 10. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run forward with Penny. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. It's the fullback punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through.
Indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Over!
Now Gonzalez looking to throw on second down. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Here we go. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Detroit! Detroit!
To throw on second down. Gonzalez toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
That'll be taken in by Anderson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Casey Hayward makes the tackle. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. The handoff to Penny. And there is nowhere for him to defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Michael Dixon standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Gonzalez now throwing on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Gonzalez. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On first down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Powers. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Wilson on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And he spikes it to stop the clock. And now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. So we've reached halftime here on... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. Butker now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I bet you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Dumps that off to Penny as running back. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing again here, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
To throw is Gonzalez. To throw on 2nd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Gonzalez. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And out now come the Seahawks. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Wide open receiver, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Escaping the pressure right. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And this one is right through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Back to throw. Gonzalez. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Gone! All right, now, look at 56.
Gonzalez throwing again on 2nd and 10. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Gone!
Looking to throw. Gonzalez finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's Wilson. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Stephon Tuitt able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They go play action with Wilson. Throw left side complete. It's Hopkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Again, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Powers. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Here's Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. One away, and off it goes. In at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them
asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they'll go on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. A beautiful fake. He's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Here's Gonzalez operating from the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Gonzalez from the gun, he'll throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Taken from just outside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Now Wilson on second down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Seahawks on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Wilson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw is Gonzalez. To throw on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Pulled in at the 24. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a give to Penny. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, my initial thought was that maybe he was just trying to blindly throw this one away, and maybe he was. But he's going to get away with it because as he tried to throw it over the left sideline there's a receiver right there in the area, so no grounding call.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
To throw is Wilson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And, you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Back to throw. Gonzalez dancing to his left. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. He'll take this deep in his own territory. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He's going to get him running right. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Penny. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. An almost unimaginable 0 for 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Operating from the gun. Gonzalez. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get in.